you don't go through an experience like that and change as a person. You go through an experience like that and find within yourself what it is that allows you to forgive someone. That humanity in Eric, I think, was probably always there. It just took the right circumstances to bring it out. And I always felt that Colin carries that great sense of humanity with him. And regardless of how, and the script asks him to behave badly in different ways, emotionally and what have you, particularly in his relationship with Patty, it's always that thing with a film. You're asking, it's like the thin fat person, or the, it's finding the person who can behave badly but not lose our sympathy and not lose us on the journey, which is why I thought Colin would be ideal for that role, and to be able to interpret the role in a serious way, but bring a warmth to the character as well. Once we did cast Colin, it then became becomes something of trying to find someone who vaguely matches them physically as well, so that it becomes a believable younger and older version. And I think it was actually Colin who said to us, "Look, I worked with this kid, or I heard about this kid or someone," and that's how we met Jeremy. And quite bizarrely, when you pull up that photograph of Eric off the internet, it stunningly looked like Jeremy as a 20-year-old, and Jeremy, kind of incredibly looks like Colin probably looked at 20. And so that mix happened very, very quickly. We met Jeremy, we talked through the role, and I really like actors to be enthusiastic, and Jeremy was nothing other than enthusiastic about. He came with 50 pages of notes, and that was even before he got the role. And someone who it really meant something to them to play this role, I think it goes a long way to getting them the role, because their enthusiasm for it and their belief in the character is really what you're asking of actors as a director. It just seemed like a very right direction to go in. Nicole brings with her a great strength of screen power, a great strength of authority, and I think as an actress she has a great depth of emotional both baggage and reserves from which to draw on, that somehow sort of coincided with the story. One of the things Nicole said to me, the thing she liked about the character and the story was what it said about loving someone. And I think that's that as soon as she said that, I knew that she'd be really great in the role, because it had always intrigued me and interested me, just the depths of what Patty felt for Eric, because it was only that would have kept someone in that role with that man, and what he was going through for the years that she hung in there and looked after him and supported him and what have you. So, those kind of emotional things I think are the most important things. And so, getting that sense from Nicole straight away really, really cemented her in my mind as a great person to play this role. Really meaningful rehearsal is about actors spending time together, particularly when they're playing the same character, and just talking and exploring where the boundaries of what that character is and the places that they need to go within this particular text. I guess they had conversations about, because it's a split experience where in many ways Colin has to pick up the pieces of the emotional consequences of what Jeremy physically goes through and emotionally goes through. There needed to be some discussion and exploration, in a way trading what the experience meant for each of them. filming in these real locations, it was really important to honour what they represented and what had gone on there in history, because they were where many people lost their lives in brutal and horrific circumstances, and so it always carried a great weight of responsibility, but also a great sense of, in a way, walking and filming through history, because the sense of history is huge around there.